Welcome back. I promised you a story about the staircase. Some years ago, the alarm system went off late at night here at the Rialto Historical Society. According to John Adams, 2 Rialto police officers showed up to investigate. What those officers saw on this staircase, they will never forget. A female ghost descending down the staircase. Okay. Not wanting to visit the police psychiatrist, those 2 officers never filed a report. Here's the kicker. About 6 years later, the same thing happened to 2 completely different officers. Interesting. Okay, now let's head to our next story, which involves a father and daughter who have a few strange stories of their own.
Whether you believe it or not, paranormal activities recorded by investigators such as California Paranormal Investigators or CPI in Hemet takes what's spiritual and tries to give it scientific meaning.
Shadow people are the biggest phone call we get. They'll be sleeping, they'll see the shadow go by, they can't explain it, nobody's around. They're going to give you more audio sounds, knocks, playful noises, whatever. The more that happens to validate what they're experiencing is better for us. If you just see a shadow, that can be easily explained by a car going by at night. But if you're getting audio and the feeling of them being there, and you see the shadow, now we got 3 pieces of evidence to put together.
CPI collects data using meters, cameras, and microphones.
We caught a spirit of about a 4-foot-high little child walking from one side to the other. And we went back the following day to debunk it with lights and the whole bit. We couldn't do it.
Tom and his daughter Carrie also use their own sensitivities to investigate. In fact, ever since they've moved in, they found possible paranormal activity in their own home.
Sometimes you get nervous and you get scared. Other times you're just like, yeah, whatever, you know, we know you're here. You don't scare us. We're just going to keep living with it. I was on my computer and my father came up and I told him that I'd been hearing noises. And I was joking with him, explaining, you know, get him out of my room. I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing.
All right. Whatever's in here right now, get out.
And a box of baby food just flew off the shelf and scared us half out of our wits.
This whole area is sitting on the Saboba Indian burial ground.
This room here in particular is my daughter Kayla's room, where she has seen a little Indian girl. You could hear like the sound, what sounds like she's trying to get into the door. And suddenly the next second it's wide open and her room is freezing cold.
This indication of a spirit may leave one cold, but not alone. In Hemet, I'm Diane Schramm.
Thanks, Diane. Well, it seems that father and daughter have ghost hunting in common. You know, sometimes when people experience odd things together, it brings family closer. It reminds me of a family I met recently in Riverside. You see, they've got a problem with their new home. And I'm not talking about the plumbing. Take a look. It was built in 1974, but it's been home to Robert Struble, wife Wendy, and their kids for only 6 months now. During that time, they've started to suspect that there's more than just family living here.
I was here by myself, and I'll sit at the dining table a lot with my laptop when I'm not at the office, and that's where I'll work. And I kept getting a sensation of somebody walking behind me. And out of the corner of my eye, I'd see a shadow.
And then there was the time sisters Corey and Claire were watching television.
There was a shadow casted in front of us.
It didn't stop there.
I had my laptop playing with my music video. I had my TV on, but it was really low. And I heard some footsteps like creeping. And I looked, like peeked out my door down my hallway. Nobody was there.
As if all that weren't bad enough, both Robert and Wendy have been locked in the backyard by a force that seems to insist that the sliding door stay locked.
Closed the door behind me, and when I came back in, the door was locked.
Time for a visit by CPPI, California Paranormal Private Investigators. So, is the home haunted?
It seems to hold some energy. We know that there actually have been a few deaths at this site, we've been told. So we're not sure if it's energy from that.
Whatever it is, at one point it had all the investigators' EMF meters spiking sharply. The meters read changes in electromagnetic fields, an indication that there may be paranormal activity here. Bottom line is, CPPI tells us this case warrants further investigation.
and we'll investigate around them and see, what else we can find.
So, there you have it, some delightful bedtime stories for the kids. In parting, we would like to thank John Adams and the members of the Rialto Historical Society. We would also like to thank all the spirits in this building for keeping the noise level down while we were videotaping. I'm Glenn Ross. I gotta go. Time to head toward the lights.